Welcome back to Hennessy's House of Reptiles. Today we're talking about ball pythons. Now, what you see in my hand here is my ball python Leia. She is a normal. This is what the wild pattern looks like. She is an adult, full-grown ball python. She is about 4.5 foot long. And if you're wanting to know what some of the other morphs might look like, what a morph is the different colors and patterns. I have a couple more here with me. So this one, to let go of my wife's hand, is my boy Diablo. He is a male. He is a super banana het exanthic. Beautiful snake. When he was young, he was all pink. He's kind of turned more yellow as time goes on. He has that albino gene, so his pupils are red. I'm going to pass him back to my wife. She has another one for me. This one is our girl Sage. This is about the size of one you'll see at a pet store. They're very small, cute, and they're always cute, but she is what is known as an ultramel morph. Beautiful snake. And this is about the size you'll see at a pet shop. And then just got to keep in mind, they turn into this. Leia is a full grown. The females will be bigger than males because they, bear the eggs and such. They are very, very good pets. They're very well handled. As you saw, all three of mine are very handleable. They're not aggressive. They don't bite. They're a little head shy. They're a little jumpy, but they're not going to bite you just because you exist. A lot of times, like the babies, like the hatchlings, might be a little extra jumpy because, as one of my favorite YouTubers says, when you're a noodle with a head, the world is a scary place. And that is a very true statement. When these guys are tiny, hell, even as adults, they look up to everything. Everything is giant to them. So especially when they're babies, even a bird is a giant. So you can imagine why they'd be scared. Well, they are amazing pets because they are not overly defensive. And as long as you work with them and you don't abuse them, they are amazing animals. So they're a good beginner snake. They really are, because this, again, is full size. This is a reasonable size pet for anybody. If you live in an apartment, it's easy to house. They don't need a room. They don't need crazy amounts of stuff. Just give them a 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot enclosure. Give them a nice sized water bowl. Hide on each side. A substantial substrate, at least 1 to 2 inches, that can retain some moisture. Aspen bedding is not a good idea. I would say try to incorporate a bioactive setup, but from everything I've looked up and everything I've tried, bioactive doesn't really work super well with snakes because they they knock everything out of place. So bioactive may not be the best idea. However, you can put in artificial plants, you can put in, rocks, hides, and stuff, because you want to make sure they feel comfortable. And the best way to do that is to kind of mimic their natural environment. So, with that being said, a 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot enclosure, hide on both sides, hot and cool, big enough water bowl for them to soak in, plenty of substrate, give them climbing space, so give them branches to climb on, give them, leaves and greens to kind of hide in. That way they feel as natural as possible, as comfortable as possible. If at all possible, give them an enclosure that comes and opens from the side. Because if you come from the top, they're going to look at that kind of like a predator. Whereas if you come from the side, it doesn't look as scary to them. They can see it coming. Another thing is temperature and humidity. So from what I've researched, and it may have been changed, but from my understanding, humidity needs to be kept around 40 to 60% for the most of the time. Hot side needs to be around 90, cool side needs to be around 75. And you can give them that gradient, or you can give them an 80 to 85 degree ambient temperature, so you don't need to worry about a gradient. But a gradient is definitely better. UV is not necessary, but never hurts. Just need to keep in mind that, much like most snakes, ball pythons are solitary animals. They do not cohab well. It's one thing if you are breeding them. It's another thing if you are trying to keep pets together. It's not a good idea. If you're trying to breed them, then you put them together long enough for them to lock and come apart, then you separate. You do not keep them together long term. Um, pets do not. Pet reptiles usually don't cohabitate well, and that same goes for ball pythons. There are very few exceptions, but for the most part, that is the case. Um, if there's any questions you may have about ball pythons, I can try to help you with. Feel free to leave a comment. I will do my best to answer it. I am by no means an expert, but I will do my best. I can definitely look things up for you. I can talk to people. I can look into stuff. Keep in mind, if you do get a pet reptile of any kind, heat is necessary. If you've ever heard the term cold-blooded, it's because they are exotherms, not endotherms. So they get their body heat from outside sources. So you will have to provide a heat source. Period. No questions. You need to. It's not an option. You have no choice. Otherwise, you're going to kill that animal. As babies, they'll eat once a week. As adults, they eat every other week. She will eat medium-sized rats once every 2 weeks. When they're babies, they'll start off with either mice or pinky rats. And rat size is just something you have to keep an eye on. Never give them a rat bigger than the widest part of their body. And you'll want to use that as like your guiding point. And again, appropriate times. So with that said, if you have any questions, feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe if you can, and I will see you guys on the next one.